What is the spiritual dream meaning of a watch? I want you to think about this for a second. What if the most powerful message the universe ever sent you arrived while you were asleep, and you just brushed it off as just a dream?
To really get this, we have to talk about a man who didn't just paint watches. He believed he decoded time itself. I'm talking about Salvador Dalí.
So back in 1931, a young Dalí, he was only 27, paints this masterpiece, The Persistence of Memory. And his whole big idea, that time isn't this rigid, tyrannical thing. No, he said it's soft, it's fluid, it's basically irrelevant. Fast forward to 1982. His wife Gala dies, and his entire world just shatters. Suddenly, the guy who claimed to have mastered time becomes its prisoner, completely broken by the fact that his time with her was up.
And right there, that's the whole paradox, isn't it? You have Dalí the artist painting these melting, meaningless clocks his entire career. And then you have Dalí the man who had absolutely no clue what to do when his own time ran out. See, he painted the truth he saw in his dreams, but he never figured out how to actually live it.
Look, Dalí was absolutely convinced that dreams were not just random noise. No, they were signal. He was so obsessed with this idea, he used a technique called slumber with a key. He'd literally hold a key while dozing off, and the second he fell asleep, it would drop onto a plate and wake him up, so he could capture those images fresh from his subconscious. And one of the most powerful symbols he pulled from that space, you guessed it, the watch.
Okay, enough about Dalí. Let's talk about you, because this is about your psyche sending you an urgent message. So now you need to ask yourself,
Think about the last time you dreamed of a watch. Did you even notice it was there? What was it doing? Was it ticking? Stopped? Running backwards?
Who gave it to you? Or who took it from you?
And the big one, were you late? Or had you run out of time completely?
Let's be clear, these are not small questions. This is the hard truth. When you ignore these messages from your own subconscious, you're not just standing still. You are actually going backwards. You're wasting the only thing you can never, ever get back, your time.
Here's the key takeaway. In the language of dreams, a watch isn't a timepiece. It's a mirror that reflects your relationship with your own life.
Let's call it the dream watch. And what is it? It's a brutally honest reflection of how you feel about your own mortality, about the choices you're making, and, let's be real, whether you are living on purpose. How you deal with time. It's completely tangled up in how you experience love, your own self-worth, and where you belong.
So when that watch shows up in your dream, your subconscious isn't trying to be poetic. It's being incredibly specific. It's asking you point blank, are you spending your time on things that actually matter? Are you respecting your own limits, your own worth? And are you even here? Are you present? Or are you always thinking about somewhere else?
And you know what's wild? From Jungian psychology all the way to indigenous wisdom, what this symbol means is shockingly consistent. This is your inner self, waving a giant red flag, trying to get your attention before it's too late. So let's break down the 5 core meanings right now. Okay, here they are. A watch is a symbol of 1. Accountability. To yourself, first and foremost. 2. Transition. Something is ending or something new is starting, right now. 3. Urgency. This is a final warning before a door closes for good. 4. Legacy. What are you going to leave behind when you're gone? And 5. Presence. Seriously, are you actually here inside your own life?
And this brings us right back to Dalí. It totally reframes his work. You see, those famous melting watches, they weren't about giving up, about nihilism. No, they were an invitation to stop fighting time and to finally start listening to what every single second is trying to tell you about the life you are choosing to live.
And that's the thing. Your dreams are sending you that exact same invitation, night after night. So the only question left is whether you are finally ready to listen.
Let's get straight to it. Your dreams are talking, and they're sending you coded messages every single night. So the only real question is, are you listening? Especially when they use a symbol as powerful as a watch. This is part 2. We are going way deeper. Today is all about the specific messages your subconscious is screaming at you through the symbol of a watch. So don't think of this as some kind of theory. Think of it as a diagnostic tool for your life. And this is the core principle you have to get. Your mind doesn't do random. It is a targeted, precise communication system. And your job Your only job is to decode the message before you're forced to live out the consequences. Because in your dreams, the details are absolutely everything. First, the red flags. And listen, these aren't subtle whispers from your subconscious. Oh no, these are screaming alarms telling you that something in your operational system, your day-to-day life, is critically failing. Dreaming of a broken watch isn't bad news. It's honest news. Your subconscious is just, it's done with the polite act. It is showing you, clear as day, this thing is broken. The application here isn't a suggestion. You have to name it. And then you have to make a choice, repair it or release it. Because indecision, that's a decision too. And trust me, it's the worst one you can make. Okay, notice the huge difference here between broken and stopped. A broken watch is a failure. A watch that stops, that's a command. Your soul is literally hitting the emergency brake because you are about to drive right off a cliff. So stop fighting the stall in your waking life. Sit in it. The answer you're so desperately looking for is hiding in the silence you've been avoiding. This is a boundary alarm, plain and simple. If you are dreaming of losing your watch, you are actively losing control of your own life. You are letting other people dictate your timeline. Your time is your life force. This dream is telling you you're hemorrhaging it. The only solution is to find the leak and plug it. Now, this dream unmasks the anxiety you are so good at hiding during the day. This frantic checking, it reveals a deep-seated terror of falling behind some imaginary schedule. It's a crystal-clear signal that your mind is stuck in a loop of worst-case scenario thinking. And this is the core question you've got to ask yourself. Whose schedule are you actually living on? So much of the urgency we feel, it's borrowed. It's borrowed from the expectations of other people. It is time to take your timeline back. Okay, let's move to the next level. Let's see how this builds. Because these dreams, they aren't just about your daily operations. These are messages from the deep, calling you to do much more profound spiritual and emotional work. A watch running backwards isn't a curse, it is a compass, and it is pointing directly to an unhealed wound that is actively draining your energy in the here and now. The point isn't to go live in the past, it's to go back with surgical precision, close the loop, and reclaim your power in the present. You know, when you dream of an antique watch, you are being contacted by your lineage. This is all about the endurance, the wisdom of those who came before you, especially the women. There is a strength in your bloodline that you have forgotten or maybe even thrown away. It is time to reclaim it. This one is so critical. Water is emotion. So a watch underwater means your unprocessed feelings are completely distorting your reality. You feel like you're failing or you're falling behind, but you're not broken. You were just emotionally underwater. This isn't weakness, it's data. And the only way out is to surface, and that requires letting yourself grieve and getting support. Now, this is maybe the most spiritually complex dream of all. A watch with no hands. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to connect with the part of you that exists outside of time, your higher self. If your entire identity is wrapped up in your productivity, this dream is an intervention. It is demanding you release control and just be. Okay, our next section looks at the economy of your time. These dreams, they reveal everything about your relationships, your ambitions, and the real value you place on your own life force. This is one of the most generous dreams you can possibly have. Your own psyche is literally handing you the time and the permission for a new chapter. And if a stranger gives you the watch, that stranger is you. It is your own deep wisdom telling you to stop waiting. The crucial part here, accept the gift. Dreaming of wearing multiple watches means you're trying to live on everybody else's timeline except your own. You are stretched way too thin across way too many roles. And because of that, you are fully present in none of them. Your energy is not infinitely divisible. You have to choose your center. The gold watch. This is a dual symbol. Yes, of course, it can mean success and recognition, but it is also a major warning. Gold is precious, but it is also cold. Are you chasing status at the expense of genuine alignment? And this is the question you have to be brutally honest about. Is the success you're chasing turning into just a beautifully decorated cage? Is the price of that gold watch your own soul? When you give your watch away in a dream, you're giving away your life force. This can be an act of incredible love, or it can be self-destruction. The key, the only thing that matters, is how it felt in the dream. If you felt loss, that's a warning. Renegotiate the terms of that relationship immediately before resentment poisons absolutely everything. And this brings us to the bottom line, the final urgent warning. Let's be very, very clear. These messages, these dreams, they have an expiration date. Your inner world will not knock politely forever. At a certain point, it stops knocking and it starts kicking the door down. And by then, the cost of not listening is infinitely higher. So, the crucial point is this. You have been warned. You now have the translations. The choice of what you do with this information is entirely 100% yours. Now you have been equipped. Act accordingly. Part 3. Look, dreaming of a watch, that's a wake-up call. We're so past just interpreting things. We're talking about transformation. This is about application. Just understanding this stuff, it's not going to change a thing. What really matters is what you do in the next 24 hours. That's it. That's the only thing that decides if this was truly meaningful or just, interesting. So we're diving into 7 practical, doable applications. I want you to find the one that hits you right where you are, and you need to start today. All right, so if you're someone who lives in your head, maybe you're more spiritually wired, listen up. These first 2 tools are for you. Here's the thing. Your mind, your subconscious, is already screaming what you need to know. The problem, you're just not writing it down. You're not capturing it. And the urgency here is everything. I mean, everything. Before your feet even touch the floor in the morning, and for God's sake, before you grab your phone, you need to write down every single image. Pay close attention to anything about time. You do this, and within a few weeks, you'll see patterns. And these aren't random. They are coming directly from you. Let me be clear. This isn't some cute little hobby. This is your personal navigation system, and you've got to use it. It's these symbolic acts that make real psychological change stick. If you skip the physical part, all this inner work just stays abstract, and honestly, it's totally ineffective. So go find a watch, a real one, hold it in your hand, and then ask yourself one of these hard questions, and don't rush it. Sit there until a real honest answer bubbles up. Then you write it down. That is how you ground this stuff in reality. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about your actual waking life. If you're one of those people who constantly feels like you're running behind, you need to hear this. That feeling, it's not just a feeling, it's a symptom. And you know what happens when you ignore symptoms, right? They turn into full-blown crises. So these next 2 tools, they're all about auditing where your time and energy are really going. Here's what you're gonna do. For 1 week, track your time. Just break your day into 2-hour blocks. And listen, no judgment here. This is just about collecting data. Then you're gonna color code it. What did you do that actually aligns with your values? And how much of your time was just eaten up by obligations or things you were avoiding? The ratio you see at the end? Yeah, it's probably gonna shock you. It's supposed to. I want you to use that shock as fuel. Renegotiate at least one thing this week that's just draining the life out of you. And this next one, this isn't even about minutes and hours. It's about your mental and emotional energy, the real currency. So draw a clock and carve it up based on who or what is consuming that energy. Go ahead, look at it. How big is your slice? Is it dangerously, pathetically small? Because let me tell you something, overgiving isn't love. It's slow motion self-destruction. So find the biggest imbalance on that clock and have just one honest conversation about what you need. Do it this week. All right, for anyone who's just stopped thinking about the future, this is for you. This is your restart button. That feeling of hopelessness, it's just a thought pattern. That's it, and patterns can be broken. But your brain can't move toward a target it can't see. So these next 2 methods are all about giving it that target. This is a seriously powerful technique straight out of cognitive behavioral therapy. You're going to write a letter to yourself 5 years from now, and I want details, specific sensory details about the life you actually want. Where are you living? What work lights you up? Who is standing next to you? And forget about what's realistic. This isn't about magic, it's about future projection. You are literally giving your brain a GPS destination. And for anyone out there saying, I don't have time for any of this, how much time do you need? This much. 60 seconds, that's it. Every single morning, before you do anything else, set a timer for 1 minute. Just breathe and ask yourself this one question. Get one answer, just one. Write it down and commit to doing that one thing. This little exercise exposes the real issue, doesn't it? Because if you can't find 60 seconds for your own damn life, you don't have a time problem. You have a self-worth problem. And now you know exactly where you need to start. And finally, this one is for anyone who numbs out with a screen. Let's be real. Mindless scrolling is the modern way of sitting on the sidelines, watching your own life pass you by instead of actually living it. So this last tool, it's about taking that time back. I want you to choose 1 hour. Just one. Every single day. And in that hour, you go screen-free. No excuses, no exceptions. And look, this isn't a punishment, it's a gift. You are literally giving yourself back the precious time your own dreams are screaming that you need. You're shifting from just passively consuming to actively creating. Use that hour for something real, something that actually connects you to your own life. So, where does that leave us? What's the bottom line? It's simple. Your dreams are talking to you. And this isn't a friendly chat. It's a warning. Think about it. Salvador Dalí, the guy literally painted the truth about time his entire life. He was in constant conversation with his subconscious. He got it more than almost anyone. And you know what? It didn't matter. Because understanding is not transformation. When his clock finally ran out, he still wasn't ready. You've been given the gift of a warning, a heads up. The watch is already in your hand. It's ticking. So the only question that matters now is, what are you going to do with the time you have left?